Thank you very much. Common sense Conservatives are focused on axing the tax, building the homes, fixing the budget, and stopping the crime. Well, this Liberal Prime Minister proves day in and day out that he's not worth the cost or the corruption. And what we're seeing today is a perfect example of how the government is focused on the wrong things. While Conservatives are putting forward tangible and practical measures that will lower costs, bring interest rates down, get homes built around the country, put dangerous criminals behind bars. This Liberal government is focused on the standing orders of the House of Commons.
Shameful.
While Canadians are going to food banks in record numbers, while people who have moved away from home, gotten jobs, find themselves renewing their mortgages, and then are being forced to move back in with their parents, while communities once safe and secure, where people would go to bed at night without locking their doors, are now investing in security cameras and other measures because their neighborhoods have gotten so dangerous. While all of this is going on in Canada, while this Prime Minister continues to break so many aspects of Canadian society, the Liberals come in with a programming motion, with using a valuable day of House time debating on how bills are going to be debated and how many hours this House will sit. While Conservatives will continue to raise the important issues that Canadians are facing, while Liberals want to debate and delay and have a day or two long debate arguing about how the process should be handled in the House of Commons. We're not going to let them off the hook, Mr. Speaker. Let's go through these points one by one. The government is saying that they have to do this to get their agenda through. We, in the official opposition, would happily help advance an agenda that actually accomplished these priority items. If they were to bring in a bill to cancel the carbon tax, or at least cancel the increase that they have scheduled for April 1st, we would support that. If they brought in tangible measures that would actually get homes built, we would support that. We found out just a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, that the housing minister, the current housing minister, who launched a brutal and devastating personal attack on the previous immigration minister. By the way, those are the same people. The former immigration minister is now the current housing minister. The current housing minister attacked the former immigration minister himself, blaming himself for so mismanaging the immigration system in this country that it's caused terrible consequences on the housing side of things, as this country now, after 8 years of this Prime Minister, builds fewer homes than new Canadians are added every year. He actually admitted that all their billions of dollars and their fancy photo ops and their repackaged announcement don't actually build specific homes. Wow. He admitted that at committee. We asked him how many homes his vaunted and much celebrated in Liberal circles Housing Accelerator Fund. Boy, that sounds active, doesn't it? That's one of those buzzwords. I wonder how many consultants they had to hire to come up with a name like that the Housing Accelerator Fund. We wanted to know, okay, well, that sounds exciting. It sounds like that's going to really pick up the pace of home building in this country. So, simple question, how many homes is this Housing Accelerator actually built? And he said, it doesn't actually build any homes. Well, you'll pardon the official opposition, Mr. Speaker, if we come to this place to defend taxpayers' dollars, if we oppose billions of dollars of spending that doesn't actually build new homes. One of my Conservative colleagues asked a very simple question to the government when it comes to the carbon tax. How many greenhouse gases are actually reduced? Can the government tell Canadians how much the carbon tax lowers greenhouse gas emissions? I believe that was my colleague from Dauphin Swan River asked that very simple question. You would think that if the signature economic policy of this government is the carbon tax, that they might measure that. They might actually count how many greenhouse gas emissions are reduced by their signature policy. The answer came back, they don't keep track of it. They don't know. They don't measure that. They impose this carbon tax on Canadians. They're hiking it year after year. after promising not to, by the way. Remember that promise going into the 2019 election when the former Liberal Environment Minister, Catherine McKenna, promised, saying, no, they're never going to raise the carbon tax. The Liberals actually attacked me for telling Canadians not to believe them, and that once the election was over, when the Prime Minister didn't need Canadians' votes, but he still needed their money, that he would absolutely raise the carbon tax. I remember Catherine McKenna's other famous quote was, if you just repeat a lie louder over and over again, eventually people will believe you. That certainly bears out in how they've communicated around the carbon tax. They promised not to raise it, and now they're forcing through a hike year after year.